Hi, I'm Stacie Tamaki. I'm 51 years old and I live out in Greenville, Michigan, which no one knows where that is.
So I know where that is. Yeah, I do.
It's 10 minutes north and 30 minutes east of Grand Rapids.
Okay, excellent. And you have the most, this is gorgeous.
Thank you.
What is the name of your piece?
It's Tinygami. It's miniature origami pieces.
Oh, I love the name too. That's so cool.
Yeah.
So you have three, it's a three-part installation, it looks
Three
like.
mobiles that all reflect Japanese culture. So this is based on a children's fable called The Moon Rabbit.
Okay.
And rather than seeing a man in the moon in Japan, they see rabbits in the moon. So if you look at the moon at night and you see those gray patches, there's actually two different formations, especially if you just Google moon rabbit.
Okay.
You'll see where people have kind of outlined them to show where the rabbits are. So I did that to depict that story.
So these are tiny rabbits?
So these are tiny rabbits.
Oh my gosh. How big is the paper that you're using to create these?
These are made from 1.5 inch square of paper, so they're 3/4 of an inch high.
Wow.
And I'll come clean with you, there's only 550.
Only?
I have 450 more that are folded in 3 graduating smaller sizes down to 3/8 of an inch. But these took a lot longer to hang than I thought they would.
And what
I've never hung them
Are you
before.
sewing them with?
I'm sewing them.
Oh my goodness.
And it took 3 stitches, with the last being a knot, to get them to sit vertically in line. So it took about 3 or 4 times longer to hang them than I thought it would. So if you come back in a week, there'll be 450 more tiny ones.
Oh my goodness, you're
on the outer perimeter. Yeah, I'm still gonna finish it.
Oh my goodness.
I can show them to you.
Yeah, no, I believe you. I believe you.
Well, it's just funny.
Very impressive though. And so moving on to...
So this one depicts bonsai, which is the Japanese art of creating living miniature trees.
And that's the little tree up there.
And so it's a little bonsai tree made on, the trunk is wire armature with air dry clay. And then the flowers and leaves, the lichen on the trunk, the dirt and the moss are all made of paper.
Wow.
The flower blossoms are folded paper, so technically they're origami, but I hand painted them, the lavender and yellow, to make them a little fancier.
How big is the paper that you're working with there? Is that like some of it looks smaller?
These started, I'm trying to think, I think the largest blossoms were a 3/4 inch circle, then the mid blossoms are a 1/2 inch circle right there. The tiniest blossom at the end of each strand of flowers is the hole you get from using a paper punch.
Oh my goodness.
So I folded them and hand painted them and added them to the piece.
That is very impressive.
So there's always a mini.
Oh my goodness. So do you, I mean, it just seems like that would be problematic in a sense that if it falls on the floor, it's stuck to your shoe and you can't find it. I mean, how do you keep track of these tiny...
I don't work on carpet, so if stuff falls on the floor, it's easier to find. But yeah, you just start over.
Maybe punch another hole.
Yeah. And then the 1,000 cranes symbolize longevity, good health, world peace, and good luck at Japanese American weddings. So there's many different connotations to the cranes, but every instance you need 1,000 of them.
Wow.
So there's 1,000 cranes there. And they range in size. There's one crane that's a 1/4 inch high. And then the rest are 3/8 of an inch, 1/2 inch, and 3/4 inch. So the large size is the 3/4 inch.
Excellent. And there's one more part to this as well.
And then the last piece is the frog, which is a symbol of good fortune. Mm-hmm. So you'll often find people, well, at least within my extended family, Japanese American people, if they go to a casino, will often have some kind of a frog charm in their wallet or their pocket or their purse.
For good luck.
Because it brings money.
Oh, it brings money.
Wealth.
Okay.
Yeah. So I decided to do the tiny frogs. I'd known how to make the large frog for a long time. Never occurred to me to make one that small.
And I tried. They're really tiny up here.
Yeah, there's one that's a 1/4 inch high. Do you want me to? I can spin it around. See this one on the far left? It's pink. That little pink one is a 1/4 inch high. I can spin it around more so you can shoot it from the way with the better light. And then the water lilies, I just love them. And it was kind of a single sheet water lily fold where you end up with layers of petals. Mm-hmm. But working in this very small size, I just took the traditional fold and did it 3 times and then glued them, like nested them to create the fuller version of a flower. And just in my head, it's like I get these pictures in my head And I just thought, well, if I do a palette of green and blue for the frogs, the pink flowers would be a nice contrast.
Well, this is an absolutely gorgeous display.
Thank you.
It's really lovely. And so what really inspired you to start working this small?
It started because I helped fold a set of 1,000 large cranes for a Japanese-American wedding. This is a standard size crane made from a 6-inch square of paper.
Okay.
And everyone did 100, and then we hung them as a large mobile. And I thought, it's really pretty, but how would you display it without it getting dusty and damaged?
Right.
And so then I just thought, I wonder how small you can fold them and would have to fold them, that you could do it and put it in a display case.
Right.
So then I, cut the paper and quartered it and cut it again and quartered it and cut it again, and ended up making my very first set just over 20 years ago, I think, that were 3/4 inch and 3/8 inch high cranes. Last year for ArtPrize was the first time it ever occurred to me to try to make them even smaller. So now I've not perfected, but I have like a 50% success rate of folding a 1/4 inch high crane out of a 1/2 inch square of paper.
Oh my goodness. Now, are you cutting all the paper with a paper cutter or with scissors? Or?
I cut them with a self-healing cutting mat, a metal-edged ruler, and an X-Acto knife.
Oh wow, so this is a very slow process.
It's
you can't bulk cut.
Yeah, that's not the fun part.
Yeah.
Cutting paper is not the fun
well,
part.
I see that you have a case over here. So do you like your paper
you
stash
that you...
Yeah, I love this.
This is my little travel case.
Yeah,
so,
I have one like this with embroidery floss in it.
All my tools, and this is the sheets of the 3/4 inch high. It's 1.5 inch square of paper. But then I also have, these are if I take that square and cut it in quarters,
oh my word,
this size.
Wow.
And somewhere in here I even have them cut smaller to do the 1/2 inch pieces. And then when I'm out folding, I can just stick them in little compartments to protect them till I get home. But I have, tiny scissors. I have a tiny X-Acto knife.
Now, find you. Where can they find you? Tell the people where to find you.
Oh, you can find me online. I actually have a couple different websites. I have one just under my name, which is stacietamaki.com. And then I have tinygami.com.
Okay.
So, and they link to each other.
Okay, awesome.
So you
and
can
then
find
here in
me
ArtPrize, where can people find you? So if they're watching this video.
I'm at the Grand Central Market in Delhi at 57 Monroe Center Northwest.
And this is kind of becoming your ArtPrize home.
It is my home. I've been here 3 years in a row, and they've invited me back for next year already.
Oh, all right.
So I'll be here next year.
Well, it's nice because you don't have to commute to get your lunch.
No, it's the best food.
Yes. No, it is
it's awesome. They have a hub for the artists where you can go and get some free food and stuff. It's like, I've never been there.
You're like, I'm just going to eat here. Yeah. Well, what else would you like people to know about your artwork?
Well, one of the reasons I like to pursue the origami, because I've also painted in the past, but what I love about this is I feel like it's within reach of anybody. Because all you need is a square of paper and some instructions.
Right.
For painting, you need to afford brushes and paint and canvas, and it can get very expensive to paint one picture, but this you just need paper. And you can do it anywhere, out of any kind of paper. And so I just like to encourage people to, look for ways to be creative that are simple. It doesn't have to be complicated. And you don't have to fold 1,000, you can fold one. And it's awesome.
You don't have to do 1,000.
No.
Yeah. Do you work as a professional artist, or do you have a day job that you juggle? I mean, what do you...
Well, when I left California, I had been working as a web designer and developer, just doing small portfolio websites for small business owners, and doing some social media consulting for small business owners. But with the move out here, I've decided to pursue my art as my full-time career.
Wonderful.
And so I finally put up an Etsy shop this year. There's not a whole lot in it yet, but there will be.
What can people buy from you?
And on Etsy, I'm just offering kind of single items, like you can buy a crane or a frog.
Okay.
And then I make teeny little paper boxes, and we'll put the water lily like on the top of the lid.
Oh, cool. Well, thank you so much for sharing your story. I really
Thank you for stopping. I appreciate it.